Hello and blessings, guys. So I can only be here for a few minutes, but I wanted to come and talk to you guys about, first of all, if you go to my community wall, I am running a 3-day flash sale on 30-minute readings and 60-minute readings, okay? So grab it while you can. And it's for women. It says Women's Day, but you can be a man and get a reading too. Okay. So, guys, I hate to break the news to you, but when you are getting these readings on these men, when you meet a new person or when a new person comes into your life, I feel that in particular, if you have children, you should ask. Okay, that should be one of the questions that you should ask your spirit guides, is whether or not, if there's anything about that person that you can't trust when it comes to your children. Okay, and I'm going to tell you why. First of all, a child predator does not just have to be a pedophile. Okay, a child predator does not have to just be a child abuser. A child predator can actually be a person that is a spiritual predator. And I'm going to explain to y'all how. This person could be a parasite, somebody that has curses on them that causes for them to age very quickly, somebody that may be parasitic in a sense to where they may have a lot of health problems. For some reason, their spirit is decayed, so their body is decayed. And I'm talking about, not stretch marks. Okay, everybody gets stretch marks. Um, Everybody gains weight if they don't work out. We're not talking about that. We're talking about real problems. And you may be dealing with somebody that could be looking to feed off of you and your children. Okay, so it's not just pedophiles. Hey, Christian, hello. It's not just pedophiles that you have to be concerned about. Okay. So now what I have found is that, and what I have learned the hard way, because I'm going to tell my story without saying names. Okay. I met this guy. His behavior was a little strange, right? However, the people that he feels comfortable with, the people that he hangs around, the people that he just loves to have around him are child predators, right? And the way that these people prey on women and children, what happened to me was that there was a innocent live that I did with my baby son 8 years ago. And what these people that he hangs with did was they took the photograph, they took the live stream and they photoshopped like a suggestive photo between me and my child. He was 2 years old at the time, and they just can't stop talking about it. Um, what they did, which is obviously a Photoshop, okay? The dude that I was dealing with still hangs with all these people. See, that would be called a pedophile apologist. Somebody that is a pedophile apologist is just as bad as being a pedophile. Like, a lot of people think that a pedophile apologist is just somebody that doesn't care or is apathetic about the situation. But in reality, a pedophile apologist doesn't necessarily have a desire or even attraction to children, but yet they're okay with it. So that's what a pedophile apologist is, okay? And clearly, the people that this guy hangs with, like 2-year olds, okay? And those are the particularly ruthless ones. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we've all heard of, older men marrying 13-year-old girls, 15-year-old girls, which I don't agree with at all. And they've got their little gang stalking club to where they want this behavior to be acceptable. Okay. Now, if a 13-year-old or a 15-year-old is with another 13-year-old or 15-year-old, that is perfectly acceptable. Okay. You knowing that a teenager has become sexually active doesn't necessarily make you a pedophile apologist. It doesn't, because kids are going to do what the hell they want to do. Okay. I was a 13-year-old girl. I was a 15-year-old girl. So that's something that people debate about. But I don't even really think anybody debates about it. But I think it is an argument that people that are either pedophiles or pedophile apologists, they tend to argue about that. And it's not the same. It's not even comparable. Okay. So I wasn't from that culture. I'm pretty sure that probably back down in the bloodline, you never know, could have been somebody married somebody that was too young, who knows. But I think that this is a very sensitive topic, and there are a lot of you guys that have young daughters, young boys. And obviously, if a dude is okay with people that are photoshopping, hey, Super Queen Bee, that are photoshopping suggestive photos of children, something ain't right there. Okay. So that was something that I was not in the habit of finding out about dudes, which I think that they have their little plots. If you're a woman that hooked up with a dude and you found out that he was like that, please don't feel bad. Please don't feel guilty. It is not your fault. It is not, because they are very manipulative and they are very cunning, and they will trick you or fool you. But then you start to notice certain behaviors, the things that they say. A 50-year-old man complaining about you not being a spring chicken is a dead giveaway. I'm sorry, sir, you're 50 and you have gray hairs on your balls. So what are you, like, really? Like, that's a sign, believe it or not. So anyway, um, I'm going to encourage you guys, if you do contact me about that, to make sure that you ask, because it doesn't hurt to know, right? And I'm not going to give you a bullshit answer. I'm going to tell you exactly what Spirit said. It's not going to necessarily come out directly in a reading. However, what I will do when I get off of here is I'm going to take my deck of cards and I'm going to ask my spirit guides what cards and card combinations would tell us if a man or a woman, okay, a person would be inappropriate with a child. So I will do that. I'm not going to do any readings. I don't have time for that. I have a lot of stuff to do for clients, and but in the efforts to protect children, which we've been talking about this um, since last night. If you missed my shows from last night, you can go back and review. You want to know how that person is, okay? If they're an apologist, then if something, can you imagine if a person is a pedophile apologist and something happens, God forbid, God is forbid something happens, and your spouse is okay with it and doesn't want to report it? That's an apologist. Okay. Somebody that tries to make light of the situation. And here's the thing about it is that you got to be careful with people like that because they can sometimes be into the occult, and they're willing to do like, even if a pedophile says something to a young child that is inappropriate, and and that's all that it is, they have a tendency to get very paranoid, and they will spiritually attack you and the child. So that's another aspect of it that you have to be careful of. Okay. They may be crazy, but they're not stupid. So you have to be careful with that because you know what? We all know through research and documentation that stuff like that happening to children is devastating to their entire lives. So there's a reason why it's frowned upon. 1 second, guys. Okay, y'all, I'm back. They get paranoid, they get delusional. And, in fact, to me, when I, for example, read the Bible, to me, it seems like the constant need to murder children is because somebody talked. They will bind your kid's throat. They will, hey, LA, hi, how are you, bro? They will bind your kid's throat. They will bind your kid's crown chakra and just have their lives all messed up because they're perverted. So you have to be careful with people like that. And you want to avoid people like that at all costs because trust me, it never ends up being worth it. It's never worth it. In fact, what you'll find yourself involved with is not only a sometimes a court battle, but then also them slandering you in the community. I understand that when y'all hear stories about this, y'all don't really hear about what those women go through. Like, if everybody in the community knows what's happening, there are a lot of predators, and this is their MO, to where they will project what they did to other people. Oh, it wasn't me, it was so and so. They will point the finger at innocent people. Okay. It's best to just avoid them altogether. Dead giveaway sometimes, not every time, is when you feel this connection with this person. Okay. It's nothing wrong with feeling a connection with somebody, or if are drawn to somebody, right? There's nothing wrong with that. That's not the only symptom. But sometimes you have to realize that that is like their way of pulling you in. You know what I'm saying? Like, there should be courtesy. Like, a man should not walk up to you asking you what size underwear your kid wears or asking personal questions. Okay, that's kind of weird, right? A man should not be too intrusive. That's another sign. But I think also another thing, what we don't realize is that as women, we do have an intuition. Men have an intuition as well, but they typically, for some reason, the intuition can sometimes go out the door and you don't realize it until later. And it doesn't necessarily mean that dealing with somebody like that is going to end up with something happening to your child, but it's what they do. Okay? It's they have such an obsession with it that they cannot stop. Like I said, they have a super duper focus on mothers. Okay? And to me, do I feel that a single man or a single father should necessarily be looking for a woman with children? Not necessarily. Why is he looking for women with children specifically? There's plenty of women that don't have children. Maybe he wants to, okay, sometimes it can be that maybe he likes children, but not in a perverted way. It's nothing wrong with that. But I gotta keep it real. I'm not, it's not anything against women with children. If a man it just so happens to be attracted to a woman with children, then that's one thing, right? But if he's specifically looking for somebody with children, and then sometimes they'll even go around saying that they're not attracted to you. Well, why are you talking about my children? Why are you obsessed with my children? See, I don't necessarily think that those situations have to necessarily be a situation where something's happening to your child or something did happen. No, but it's the stress that they cause. It's the bad spiritual energy that they cause, and trying to break up with them, and they don't know how to let go, and they're it's almost like, I don't know if y'all ever saw that movie called The Babadook, which is not related to this subject at all, but I was just using The Babadook as an example because a lot of women don't get spiritually stalked. I'm sorry, they don't get physically stalked. Spiritual stalking is a very, very real thing. This is where you have a man that's constantly trying to trespass on you. This is where you have a man, if he knows witchcraft, he's constantly doing witchcraft on you. This is where you're dealing with somebody that wants to bring destruction and doom to you because you want nothing to do with them. And they won't stop coming at you. That's what a child predator does. A child predator probably doesn't have an understanding. Well, they probably do know the harm that they do. Why do they feel like they have to do it? They just can't stop. Like they're constantly on a war path to have some kind of access to intrude on women and children. Okay. And that is the truth. They're very obsessive about it. Just ask, and it may not even be that. It could just be that he could be harmful. Like I said, a child predator is not necessarily a child molester. A child predator is not necessarily even somebody that is physically abusive to a child. A child predator can be somebody that spiritually abuses a child. And spiritual abuse is very common, very common, more common than you think. Okay, so just find out if this person, like, what I would want to see is that, what I would ask is, will this person ever try to do harm to me and my children, ever, at any point? Somebody that is stalking you is harmful. Somebody that is going around dropping revenge porn can be a danger to your children. Somebody that's going around constantly slandering you, that's harm. You do not want a man that does any of those things, because believe it or not, there are men out there that don't do those things. There's a plethora of men out here in this world that don't do those things. There's a plethora of men out there that will just love you and you don't have to worry about no trauma or drama at all. And that is what you should be striving for. Okay. So make sure you ask the right questions. Okay. I'm going to get out of here, y'all. I just wanted to tell y'all that, as well as to let you guys know about my 3-day flash sale on readings. I did post a flyer to my community wall. You guys can, well, I haven't updated it on the website yet. I'm going to do that in a few minutes. But you guys, Cashapp, Zelle, and Venmo. Okay. Ask the right questions, because and really, to be honest with you, like, another good question that you can ask is this person stable enough to handle a relationship? Or you want to know how they are. Is this person a backstabber? Is this person going to stab me in my back? Sometimes those things will be screaming at us when we throw the cards for you, but certain deep, dark questions, you have to ask them. Like, is this person going to become a threat to my life if I break up with them? Can this person handle it if I decide to walk away? Most of the things that men do, they do it in silence. They're not out screaming about it. Spiritual stuff is very, very real. A lot of them are trying to get you to come to them. They want to hold on to you. They want to own you. They don't ever want to let go. And then some of them are feeding off of you. When a man is going around talking about what you don't have and what you're lacking, it is a fact that he is feeding off of you at that point. Real men don't talk like that. No real man that is for you feels the need to go around and talk about what you don't have. At that point, he's trying to take away from you. So, at the very least, you want to know if he's the type to do that. I've dealt with men to where when we broke up, it was just like, it wasn't all that emotional, bridges burning. Nobody should have to put up with that. Nobody should want to deal with that. If it's over, it's over. It's over. It's over. If it's over, it's over. Nobody should have to be worried about somebody coming back to do a smear campaign against them or dropping revenge porn on them. You want to know if they're going to do things like that. You want to know. Because if you get any kind of indication that he's going to do any of those things, walk away, run, run. Don't just walk, but run away from a person like that. Okay. If a man has to have a whole bunch of people around him enabling him, more than likely he's a narcissist. Okay. More than likely he's a narcissist. And narcissistic people are known for gathering up a crowd of people to harass you and stalk you. Okay. So make sure that honestly, that's a good question to ask spirit. Is this person a narcissist? Straight up and down. If they're a narcissist, no dice. Don't deal with no narcissists. Narcissistic people, they I feel that it's going to become a point where the whole narcissism thing is going to be considered, like narcissistic abuse is going to be considered in courts of law, because what they will do is they will use judicial harassment, social media harassment, and they'll harass you at your job. Okay. So, just be cautious of that. Yes, there are spells and rituals that we can do to stop them from doing harm to you. But why give yourself the extra added expense? Why even do that? Why not just avoid somebody like that altogether? Trust me, when I be over here doing my burn bottles and when I be over here having to use all these tea lights and candles, trust me, it's worth it. No, it is not toxic. It's toxic to them because they can't get their way. Okay, candles are not toxic. Okay, so it is what it is. Nothing is more toxic than an abusive sexual partner or somebody that is abusive to you. That is the worst. Okay, so and stress. Nothing is more toxic than stress. Okay, and I didn't create that stress today. I said what I said, and he proved to be exactly what I said he was. Okay, the community needs to know. You know what I mean? People have the right to know how a person is. So, and people that are like that need to know what people think of them. Okay? Because I'm personally the type of person, y'all, I got that Virgo moon. I'm a Cancer. Listen, let me tell you something. I would have been perfectly fine with being celibate the rest of my life and just raising my children. It's better that way. Oh, I already got a cup. We can, yeah. You can make some. No, 4 cups. Yeah. So anyway, that's pretty much what I wanted to say to y'all. Check out the flash sale. Visit the website after about maybe 20 minutes. I'll have it updated. Okay. And then just make sure you read the whole flyer because you need to text me to schedule your appointment. Okay. 30-minute readings are only 30, 60-minute readings are only 60. Okay. So I will see you guys later. I'm tired. I've been up since 8 o'clock this morning working. So I'm going to sit down. Y'all have a good one. Okay. Blessings. Bye bye.